The world doesn't reward your kindness. It tests it. And more often than not, it punishes it. You felt it, haven't you? That moment when you extended trust, offered help without strings, or chose the decent path, only to watch someone twist it against you. A colleague you covered for takes the promotion. A friend you supported disappears when you need them most. A partner you forgave betrays again because your mercy signaled weakness. This isn't random cruelty. It's human nature operating exactly as it has for centuries. And no one understood this darker machinery better than Niccolo Machiavelli. He didn't invent ruthlessness. He simply refused to lie about it. Today, you're going to see why the world systematically destroys unchecked kindness, and more importantly, the precise, controlled fix that turns this painful truth into your greatest strategic advantage. Most people never confront this. They cling to the comforting myth that being good guarantees good outcomes. But the moment you understand the hidden incentives driving human behavior, everything changes. You stop being a victim of the game. You start playing it. Let's begin with the first brutal reality. Kindness without strength is an open invitation. You walk into a room, a relationship, a negotiation, offering genuine goodwill. To you, it's connection. To others, it's opportunity. Human beings are wired for survival and status. When they sense no consequences for crossing boundaries, something ancient activates. They probe. They take. They test how far they can push before you push back. Think about the last time you let a small disrespect slide at work. Maybe a coworker dumped extra tasks on you with a smile. You told yourself it was team spirit. But inside, you felt the subtle erosion of respect. Average people react with more kindness, hoping to restore harmony. They explain, they accommodate, they soften. The strategically intelligent person recognizes this as the first crack in the frame. They don't explode. They simply adjust the temperature. One calm, firm boundary. No explanation. No emotional display. Just a quiet recalibration that says, this is the new cost of doing business with me. Here's where it gets dangerous for most people. They mistake their emotional reactivity for strength. Raising your voice, seeking revenge, or broadcasting your hurt only reveals your buttons. The world learns exactly how to press them. But the self-mastered individual, they observe, they detach. They understand that true power flows from what you withhold, not what you unleash. Most people never realize this next layer. Kindness is often performed, not felt. People say they value it, but watch what they actually reward. In every social hierarchy, from corporate offices to personal circles, status flows to those who command respect, not affection. Machiavelli saw this clearly in the courts of Renaissance Italy. Leaders who relied solely on love and generosity found their alliances fragile the moment fortune shifted. The fox and the lion, he taught. You must be both. Cunning enough to see the traps and strong enough to spring your own. Picture this. You're in a high-stakes meeting. Everyone is smiling, nodding, pretending collaboration. But beneath the surface, each person is calculating their slice of the pie. Your excessive niceness, your eagerness to please, paints a target on your back. The psychologically aware person enters the same room projecting quiet capability. They listen more than they speak. They offer value selectively. When they do extend kindness, it carries weight because it's rare, deliberate, and earned. Others feel the difference immediately. They don't take it for granted. They respect it. What happens next surprises even intelligent people. The moment you embody this controlled presence, your relationships transform. People who once exploited your openness now orbit with caution and curiosity. They sense the shift. You are no longer easy prey. You have become a force worth aligning with. But let's go deeper into the psychology that makes kindness so dangerous when unprotected. Human beings fear vulnerability more than almost anything else. Your uncalculated kindness exposes yours. It signals that you might fold under pressure, that you can be emotionally manipulated through guilt, obligation, or social approval. The world doesn't hate kindness itself. It destroys the version that lacks teeth because weakness threatens the stability of any power structure. Groups, companies, even families reward predictability and strength. Unpredictable mercy creates uncertainty, and uncertainty is the enemy of control. Consider the friend who always says yes. Over time, invitations slow down. Favors flow one way. Why? Because people subconsciously categorize them as low status. Contrast this with the person who is known for loyalty but also for unbreakable standards. Their rare yes carries power. Their occasional no commands respect. This is not cruelty. This is social intelligence in action. You might be wondering right now which of these patterns you've been living. Have you ever felt used after being too available? Have you watched someone less talented rise faster simply because they protected their time and energy more fiercely? Comment below with one experience that taught you this the hard way. Your story might reveal the exact blind spot we're dismantling today. The strategically intelligent person doesn't abandon kindness. They weaponize its timing. This brings us to one of Machiavelli's most misunderstood insights. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Not because fear is superior in some cartoon villain way, but because love without fear is cheap and fleeting. People will abandon affection when it costs them. But fear of consequences, that shapes behavior long after the moment passes. The modern translation isn't about terror. It's about cultivating a reputation where crossing you has a measurable cost. Not through aggression, but through calm withdrawal of access, attention, and alliance. You become the person whose respect must be earned. This changes the entire game. Imagine navigating family drama or a toxic workplace. The average person tries harder to be liked. They over-explain, they chase approval, they absorb emotional labor. The high-value thinker does the opposite. They maintain composure. They let silence do the heavy lifting. When they speak, their words land with precision. Others begin to self-regulate around them. The hidden dynamic. People don't just respect strength, they crave alignment with it. Your controlled ruthlessness, your refusal to be broken by the world's tests, becomes magnetic. Here's what nobody talks about openly. Kindness without discernment is a form of self-betrayal. You were taught that being nice equals being good. But human nature doesn't operate on moral fairy tales. It operates on incentives. When you consistently prioritize others' comfort over your own boundaries, you train the world to devalue your needs. This isn't cynicism. This is pattern recognition. Look at history. The leaders who survived and thrived understood this. They showed mercy strategically after establishing dominance. They rewarded loyalty visibly, but punished betrayal decisively. Not out of emotion, but out of necessity. The world respects those who understand the stakes. Carl Jung might have called this integrating your shadow, acknowledging the ruthless capacity within yourself so it doesn't unconsciously control you or leave you defenseless. Nietzsche warned that the weak morality of the herd destroys the strong. You don't have to become cruel. You simply stop pretending the world is kinder than it is. The psychologically intelligent path is different. You develop what I call strategic compassion. You see people clearly, their fears, their ambitions, their self-interest, and you choose when, where, and how much of yourself to invest. This protects your energy. It preserves your power, and paradoxically, it allows you to be more genuinely kind to those who deserve it because your kindness is no longer a limited resource being drained by everyone. Most people never reach this level. They swing between naive openness and bitter withdrawal. The self-mastered individual walks the narrow path of awareness, calm, observant, in control. Let's examine another layer most miss entirely: the role of appearances in power dynamics. Machiavelli was crystal clear: it is not necessary to actually be merciful, only to appear so when it serves you. Perception shapes reality far more than most admit. The world destroys overt, sloppy kindness because it looks like weakness. But the same world bows to calculated strength wrapped in composure. You enter a negotiation. The impulsive person reveals their desperation, their need to be liked, their fear of conflict. They concede too early. The strategic person maintains an aura of quiet options. They don't need to win every point. They win the frame. Others sense they are dealing with someone who cannot be easily broken. Deals improve. Respect increases. In personal relationships, this plays out even more powerfully. The partner who tolerates endless drama in the name of love eventually loses attraction. The one who communicates standards with calm certainty keeps the dynamic healthy. Not through threats, but through the quiet power of self-respect. People feel safer around those who have their own house in order. This knowledge is for self-protection, awareness, and personal mastery, not for harming or manipulating innocent people. Use it to build relationships based on mutual strength, not illusion. Now, consider how emotional control becomes your ultimate ruthless fix. The world breaks those who cannot master their reactions. Every outburst, every plea, every visible wound hands others the map to your destruction. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. Control your perceptions and you control your experience. The Stoic combined with the Machiavellian creates something formidable. You face betrayal. The average response. Rumination, public venting, desperate attempts to fix what was never solid. The psychologically powerful response. You feel it fully in private. Then you analyze. What incentive allowed this? What signal did I miss? What boundary must now be fortified? You move forward lighter, wiser, harder to reach. This detachment isn't coldness. It's freedom. It allows you to see human behavior for what it is. A dance of self-interest. Once you stop taking it personally, you gain the clarity to navigate it masterfully. Sun Tzu would approve. Know yourself and know others, and you need not fear the result of 100 battles. In daily life, this means reading the room, reading the motives, reading the unsaid. You become difficult to surprise, impossible to break. Let's pull these threads together into a practical system you can begin using immediately. First, audit your current kindness patterns. Where are you giving without reciprocity? Where are you explaining yourself excessively? Identify those leaks. Second, practice strategic silence. The next time someone tests you, pause. Let the discomfort do the work. Most people rush to fill silence. You don't. Third, build visible capability. Develop skills, networks, options. When your value is obvious, people treat you differently. Kindness from strength lands as generosity, not desperation. Fourth, master the art of selective ruthlessness. Say no without guilt when necessary. Withdraw attention from those who drain you. Do it cleanly, without drama. Fifth, study human nature relentlessly. Observe what people do, not what they say. Notice how quickly alliances shift when power changes hands. This awareness is your armor. Sixth, cultivate an internal fortress. Daily practices that strengthen your mind, whether meditation, journaling, or physical discipline. A strong mind cannot be easily rattled. Seventh, reward loyalty visibly and strategically. Let good people feel the warmth of your alliance. This creates a circle of strength around you. As you integrate these, something profound shifts. You stop fearing the world's tests. You begin to expect them. And you meet them with the calm certainty of someone who understands the game. The world doesn't destroy kindness. It destroys the illusion of kindness without power. Machiavelli's ruthless fix isn't about becoming heartless. It's about becoming whole. Integrating both the capacity for mercy and the wisdom to protect it. You now see the hidden machinery, the self-interest beneath the smiles, the power plays behind the pleasantries. the psychological blind spots that once made you vulnerable. This knowledge doesn't make life colder. It makes you clearer, calmer, more effective in every arena. You are no longer the person who gets broken by naive expectations. You are becoming the rare individual who moves through the world with eyes wide open, heart guarded wisely, and power quietly humming beneath the surface. The game was always there. Now you play it consciously. If this resonated, if you feel that shift happening inside you right now, hit the like button. It helps this message reach others waking up to these truths. Subscribe and turn on notifications because we're going deeper in every video. Drop in the comments, which insight hit you hardest today? Have you seen the world punish kindness in your own life? What change are you committing to after watching this? Your evolution matters. The more of us who understand human nature without being consumed by it, the stronger we all become. Until next time, guard your mind, master the game, and never let the world break what you've built.